Alright, Section 5, locomotives that have served with preparation for the locomotive storage. Steam locomotives prepared for storage, responsible for personal remove all the supply with the marketing lamp with the light globe for the tool, equipment, oil can, seat cushion, the air brake for the signal hose, drain all water for the boiler, tender wall with the strip that's still warm, remove all the washout plug with the permit for the boiler to dry thoroughly when the dry boiler can be assured. Because the atmospheric other conditions, blow powder, ash, soda into the boiler until all the strip has been dusted. Take precautions again with leaving the boilers filled with water during storage when freezing temperatures and counter draining feed water pump lubricated with the pump with an injector pump, pipes, turbo generators, all of them. Alright, 3. Drain feed, water pump, lubricator, air pump, the injector pump, the turbo generators, all of the other pipe with water may accumulate to cover the rust freezing with the consequently below the heating with the disconnect with the tank over the engine and tender, cover the reclaimed journal box over the then suitable rust prevented, also of the main rod, valve, gear parts, guide, piston rods, throttle, reverse level the quadrant, piston rod with the air compressor for the feed, water pumps, all of the other outside finished part of the paint, boiler, jack with suitable rusting, prevented daily with the rain season. When locomotive is stored the some distance from the roundhouse where the parts will be stored, stolen board or above the cab of the headlight with the probe with protect the damage. Examine the locomotive after heavy rain with the cover again with the rust to prevent the necessary for the many of the locomotive stereo. Periodically keep lubricated the valve, check the other lubricated with the connect air compressor feed, water the pump with the airline and other. Operate a short time distribution lubricating to provide equipment for freezing when the steam locomotive does not serve as awaiting the assignment or temporary storage responsible and personnel will blow out all the water cylinder units of the steam page of the pipes and passage and channels and secure the stack. Cover them the top of the smokestack of the drain air pump with the remove of the reversing rod valve cap on that with the pour a small quantity of the light oil with the reversing valve chamber. Take the following precautions becoming the freezing oil with the cleaning oil with the test and steam the heating producing valve with the test with the steam heat pressure gauge time of the cleaning valve and inspect all the steam heat metallic connections of the locomotive under steam pressure. Drain at frequent intervals water and foreign matter with the main reservoir from all the other parts of the equipment to keep the air compressor moving slowly with the freezing water to keep partially open all drain cocks, cutout cocks, angle cocks so that the circulation of the air will prevent freezing. 74. Movement of the locomotive dead on the wheels to prevent the damage of unnecessary deterioration of the steam locomotive proper the movement of the dead of the wheel, the responsible the personnel, the move of the main with the eccentric rod, with except for which they are required to operate with the mechanical lubricating with the running gear, give the rods, heavy coating with the grease, move of the crosshead with the extreme front end of the guide with the script with the position of block 2 inch with it, equal to the guide with the fast block with the guide with the wrapping with the metal strip with not less than 20 gauge with the thickness with the 1 inch width around with the block guide with the curly nailing strip with the block with the block, placing them at least 4 over the strip of the round with each block with spacing them equal distances apart. Place for the main valve within the channel of the reciprocating part of the valve gear with the valve with the equally balanced and clamped in the position where the mechanical lubricators with the link will be placed off center. T2 block over the wooden 12-inch width with the 6 inches thickness of length equal to that of the main rod bearing with the passing together with the 2 5/8" bolt. Bore hole diameter of the main pin with the ply with the main pin to fill with the space between the eccentric crank with the main connection on the pieces of the lumber from 3/4 inch to 1 inch thick with approximately 1/2 inch wide with the length of the back and with the main rod bearing with the main nail sufficient number of these strip at the end of the parallel with the about 1 inch apart with the 2 metal strips not less than 20 gauge metal approximately 1 inch wide wrap around with the main bearing secure with the nailing with the ends of the metal strip of the wood with the span with it thereby acting as a space between the eccentric cross arm and the main crank pin collar with the middle with the connection rod bearing. When mechanical lubricators are then around with the remove of the piston around with the coat cylinder with the wall with the reverse prevention replaced with the cylinder heads with the shield piston around opening with the back head with the over the oil paper the wood blocks coat piston ring with the piston around with the rust prevention with the wrap with the waterproof with the paper bottle with the plate for the valve with the center lock remove the concentric rod plate with the link blocks off the center never block off the lubricator feed the cylinders valve chambers over the brake lubricator pumps oil shoes wedges filled rod cup see with it the packing all the boxes within good shape load engine parts with the removed and block them insecurely during winter months drain completely all the pipes and the air pump feed water pumps lubricator boilers and tenders eye block handle with both valves and running in position close with that vast and double heading of the cutout cock under brake valve cleaning dead engine fixture with the open cutout to it reduce the adjustment safety valve with the distribution valve and then everything absent with the wall with the boiler other reasons justify keep the maximum braking power lower than standard Equipment: dead locomotive, the side row of the position, inspect with determine the locomotive to safe the movement, is with the toe of the hull of the freight train when limited to the speed of 15 miles per hour. If dead locomotives are not fully equipped with air brake for the following definite setup, handling equipment will be fouled within the zone of the interior operating personnel of the equipment. Each of the locomotive, the chain with the provided type of the coupler with the front and the rear end. Each locomotive with a F2 plane attack with a triple valve joined to one of the main reservoir will serve the auxiliary reservoir with a connect with the locomotive, the tender brake cylinder with a disconnect with the drain plug with the hole with the steam brake cylinder tender for the brake pipe pressure to 90 pound with the makeup of the train movement, the personnel space for the idler cars between the hauling with the locomotive, the first dead engine of the train. 2. Have the first dead engine space for the 2 idler cars between each of the dead engines of the train stays. 2 idler cars between the last dead engine and the cabin car. Determine the number of the dead engine for the handle of the physical character of the operating condition of the railroad over which the dead locomotives are moved. If the circumstance were backward hauling of the dead locomotive, the clip of the roads over the term of the locomotive, the first point of the facility is during a limited speed train of 10 miles an hour per hour, properly headed, designated messenger pilot with accompanying locomotive to tender shifting destination. Such pilot must be in the mode of the working pole with the running gear, make frequent inspection and route with a hot pin with the bearings applied with a good grade of engine oil. All wearing parts include the sheave of the wedge, lubricated properly, other parts of the locomotive. Make a written report with the running condition and to the officer of the receiving station obtained with the receipt of the delivery of the locomotive. 75. Preparation of the locomotive, the ocean transit, in the case necessary to prepare erect the steam locomotive for overseas shipment. A detailed instruction will be issued in the proper authority. Alright, 76. Care during layover period that will be the duty responsibility of the engineer operator to play with the locomotive with the crane and completion of the work to block with the driving wheel with a suitable block and chain. With the steam and equipment that will be duty, also with the plate with the reverse arm with the center with the neutral position, properly covered with the main throttle, open and with the cylinder cock shut off the main steam supply with the air pump, drain main reservoir all the condensation. 6. If the equipped to open and manually operate the relief cocks for the valve chamber with additional precaution. 2. Will be the duty responsible of the whole strip of the equipment in charge of determine the driving wheels are properly blocked will prevent moving the main throttle to maintain in closed position. The cylinder cocks, the relief cocks, if so, the equipped are maintained in open position. The reverse level are maintained in semi or neutral position. And D, the locomotive with the crane and under the steam will not be done on the left side. And 10, with no bank with the fires except for the mine with the coal from the night. A competent proof of the exam with the watch for the engine and crane with the blood. Its idle lack of the power proper attention may result in the burner boilers due to low water in the coal boiler. The watchman will held responsible for maintaining sufficient fire to prevent freezing of the boiler or prudence the damage of the equipment. Chapter 6. Regulations governing inspection and testing of locomotives other than steam.